Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Talk with Antonio. I am your host, Antonio. And before I get started, today is September 3rd, 2024. I just want to say to everyone, I hope everybody had a lovely and safe Labor Day weekend. And I hope you all had a great time with spending time with family and friends. And just overall, just being safe, because when it comes to holidays and such, there's always like a bunch of crazies in the driving industry, especially when it comes to drunk driving. But other than that, I just want to say I hope you all had a great, lovely, and safe Labor Day weekend. So for this week's episode, I have to talk about something. I know I am very late in the party talking about this dude, but it's just something that I just have to speak on this matter. It is none other than one of the biggest, most well-known wrestling name of all time. And it's none other than Hulk Hogan. Oh, man. Jesus Christ, on a taxi cab or on a scooter, whatever. I mean, what is it with this dude, honestly? Why does he always have to open his mouth? Nothing comes out of this dude's mouth other than this, just to say stupid shit. Just to get cheap heat. Just to say that he's going to get heat and all that stuff. Because, and what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is not too long ago, this dude made a comment on a lot of people say that he wanted to body slam Kamala Harris, and then he proceeded to go on to this other racist rant that he did in front of these other people. And before I get into that, this is not the first time that Hulk Hogan has been caught saying racist stuff. In the past, it's been well known that he made some racist comments on a leaked sex tape that was recorded back in 2007. And this was reported by the National Enquirer. And everyone knows that the National Enquirer is a very well-known American tabloid newspaper that was founded in 1926. And I've seen those in newspaper stands, and even back, I really don't see them that much anymore. Even in supermarket, at the checkout stands, you see the National Enquirer. They always make up stupid stuff like if I can remember correctly, I forget who was the Hollywood star they were mentioning that this person was abducted by aliens and stuff, and it was just made up conspiracy bullshit. And I remember one time the late Michael Jackson said this, and I quote, "Don't believe the tabloids because it's just junk food." But lo and behold, sometimes the tabloids speak the truth. And it says here that in July, I think it was the fourth return that Hogan made to WWE from 2014 to 2015. He returned to the WWE after spending time in TNA after he sucked up all the money, and basically he just killed that company because he didn't do nothing to help TNA at all. But focusing on what happened, on February 24th, 2014, on Raw, Hogan made his first in-ring appearance since December 2007 to hype the WWE Network. He was the quote-unquote ambassador to the WWE. And he appeared as the host of WrestleMania 30, and he was hyping basically just doing his whole Hulk Hogan shtick. And he was joined later on in the show. He was joined by Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, and they finished their promo by drinking a beer together. And it says that he shared a moment with Mr. T, Paul Orndorff, and Roddy Piper, who he main evented the first WrestleMania. But later on, throughout that year, he was honored Hulk Hogan Appreciation Night at Madison Square Garden. And later on the following year, he appeared at WrestleMania 31 to help out as a member of the NWO to help out Sting fight against Triple H and DX. And he was in the company, just being their goodwill ambassador to that company. But later on, in July of 2015, he was the National Enquirer and Radar Online, another American gossip website, says that publicized an anti-black rap made by Hogan on a leaked sex tape recorded in 2007. In the recording, he is heard expressing disgust with the notion of his daughter dating a black man, referencing by the repeated use of the racial slur, the N-word. Hogan also admitted to being a racist to a point. Once the recordings went public, it erupted in a media scandal. Hogan, quote, apologized for the remarks. Which he said, and I quote, language that is offensive and inconsistent with his own beliefs. 3 black wrestlers who work with the WWF and WCW with Hogan made supportive comments. The late Virgil commented, and I quote, Hogan has never given me a reason to believe he is a racist, unquote. Dennis Rodman, a famous NBA player, said, and I quote, most certainly he is not a racist, unquote. And to the late wrestler Kamala said, and I quote, I do not think Hogan meant harm by saying that. Hogan is my brother until he decides not to be, unquote. Black wrestlers working with the company in the WWE made different comments. Mark Henry said this, and I quote, he was pleased by WWE's no-tolerance approach to racism response, unquote, and he was hurt and offended by Hogan's comments, manner, and tone. Booker T said that he was shocked and called his statements unfortunate. And a lot of wrestlers, not just Dennis Rodman, Virgil, Kamala, other people, The Rock, Booker T, Mark Henry, Big E, and D'Angelo Dinero, stressed his forgiveness of Hogan, whom he saw having made, quote, positive remark on humanity. And then Hogan gave an interview on ABC on August 31st, which he pleaded for forgiveness for his racist comments, attributing to his racial bias he inherited from his neighborhood while growing up. That does not excuse for saying that stupid shit. He said that Hogan claimed that the term, the N-word, was used liberally amongst his friends in Tampa. Former neighbors disputed this claim, which is, I don't believe a word that comes out of Hogan's mouth. And this is what he said. This is the interview that he did. This was a while back, though. Back in August he did an interview with ABC Nightline, and this is the interview. This is courtesy of ABC News, by the way.
No matter what you think about Hulk Hogan, controversial athlete and actor, headline-making reality TV star, the guy was a game changer in the world of professional wrestling. But tonight, in the midst of a racial slur scandal, he's fighting to repair his legacy, opening up exclusively to ABC's Amy Robach about the fallout and the path to forgiveness.
Hulk Hogan's here! Hulk Hogan is in the building!
With his signature leg drop, horseshoe mustache, and unrivaled strength, 12-time world champion Hulk Hogan single-handedly transformed wrestling into a global phenomenon.
Unbelievable!
Today, he's fighting outside of the ring to maintain his legacy.
Could we stop for a second?
Terry Bollea, the man behind
He's already crying there.
the once indestructible Hulkster, letting his guard down.
Out of everything that I've been through, this one hit me probably the hardest, and that's a heck of a thing to say, because I've been through a lot of crazy stuff.
Including an admission of steroid use and his son's legal issues. But last month, a new controversy which threatens to erase his legacy. The National Enquirer reports that Hogan used racial slurs in audio secretly recorded.
I was at the lowest point of my life. My personal life was destroyed. I was very mad at my daughter. I was upset over a situation that happened between her and her boyfriend, and I had no idea I was being taped. I was to the point where I wanted to kill myself. I sat in my bathroom by myself when my ex-wife was gone and the kids were gone, and I was completely broken and destroyed, and I said, what's the easiest way out of this? I mean, I was lost.
You were suicidal.
Yes, I was.
Father's Day card for Brooke?
A stark contrast from the Hulk, whose upbeat and tight-knit family was portrayed over 4 seasons of the reality show Hogan Knows Best, where he was overprotective of his only daughter, Brooke.
I mean, I'm almost 18 and I haven't even had a boyfriend yet.
Well, that's good. That's what I wanted.
But according to the National Enquirer, he refers to his daughter's then-boyfriend using the N-word.
Do you have any personal preference who ethnically your daughter dates?
No, I don't. Actually,
That's a lie.
the guy my daughter was dating, I liked him a lot. I've known him for quite a while. And I was very mad at a personal situation that happened with my daughter.
Are you a racist?
No, I'm not. I'm not a racist.
Yeah, sure. And President Obama.
I never should have said what I said. It was wrong. I'm embarrassed by it. But a lot of people need to realize that you inherit things from your environment. And where I grew up was South Tampa, Port Tampa, and it was a really rough neighborhood, very low income. And all my friends, we greeted each other saying that word. We teased each other with that word. The word was just thrown around like it was nothing.
Is it fair to say that you inherited a racial bias?
I would say that is very fair, but you can break the cycle.
Yeah. If you had broken the cycle, why would you refer to that in those sex tapes, in that sex tapes recording? Huh?
And that's what everybody needs to know. You can break this cycle and become a better person, become who you're meant to be instead of who you're supposed to be.
Following these allegations, the WWE fired Balea. The legendary career he spent a lifetime building wiped out.
I was totally shocked because I've worked with the WWE for almost 30 years off and on, and then all of a sudden, everything I'd done, my whole career, my whole
Because of you saying stupid shit?
life was like it never happened.
Your image, your likeness, your name erased.
Yeah, like I never existed.
That had to hurt.
Oh my gosh, it was devastating. It destroyed me. I mean, I don't know how to say it other than that. It was my whole life.
Many industry bigwigs have come to his defense. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson states, "I've known Terry for a lot of years. I had not known the man to be racist." George Foreman says, "I do not condone the language he used, but he is no racist. He is a good guy." Even Hogan's daughter, Brooke, chimes in.
Your daughter posted a beautiful poem on Facebook. If you knew the dad I knew, you'd know he raised me well. He taught me folks are so much more than shades could ever tell.
Yeah, you can see Hogan's breaking down, but I don't buy that at all.
Yeah, and if anybody should have disowned me, it should have been her. You know, she should have been the one. She should have been the one to throw me out like the trash, but instead she showed me more love than anybody.
What did Brooke say to you?
Well, could we stop for a second? Yeah. All right. Okay.
How has Brooke helped you through this?
She's been so supportive. She was the direction of my attack. You know, I was not so mad at her boyfriend. I was mad at her, you know, and she instantly said, I don't even need to forgive you because I'm not mad at you. I love you. You're my dad.
For fans who feel let down by you, do you ask their forgiveness?
Oh my gosh, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'm a nice guy. It's not, not the Hulk Hogan that rips the shirt off and bang, bang, bang slams giants.
The Hulk, whose worth is estimated to be between $8 and $15 million, is currently embattled in a landmark $100 million lawsuit.
This was against Gawker that released the tapes, and Hogan went to court with this company, and this company just went bankrupt.
Against Gawker after they posted a 2-minute graphic excerpt of an unauthorized sex tape. The Hulk's lawyer speaking out on his client's...
And this is not the first time I've heard about this. Hogan has claimed that a very famous radio host, Mike Calta, that he released it. But I don't know. That's just... I don't buy that at all.
Behalf about the lawsuit.
This has everything to do with the invasion of privacy of a private citizen for no good cause other than for them to make money.
Gawker maintains the tape is newsworthy given Hogan talks so often about his sex life. For now, the man once known for his superhuman strength is relying on his inner power, wrestling with turning this negative into a positive.
Just because a person makes a mistake, just don't throw them away. You don't throw good people away. If everybody at their lowest point was judged on one thing they said, and all of a sudden your whole career was wiped out today because of something you said 10 or 20 years ago, it'd be a sad world. People get better every day. People get better.
For Nightline, I'm Amy Robach in New York.
And that was back in 2015. But, you know, even though he did come out on TV, the WWE still wanted nothing to do with the guy. So I remember reading this, that they terminated a contract with Hogan, and this is what WWE stated, and I quote, "They are committed to embracing and celebrating individuals from all backgrounds. Although Hogan's lawyer said that he chose to resign, that's not true. WWE terminated him." It says a day prior, WWE removed almost all references to Hogan from their website, including his listing as a judge for Tough Enough, his merchandise from WWE Shop, and his entry from his WWE Hall of Fame page. He was still listed in the Hall of Fame entry official WWE Encyclopedia release in 2016 of October. His DLC appearance from WWE 2K15 was taken down from sale, and his character was cut from the upcoming WWE 2K16 game during development. And also, Mattel stopped producing Hogan action figures, while Hogan's merchandise was taken down from online stores from Target, and also at that time the store Toys R Us and Walmart. Radar Online reported that at that time, July 28th, Radar Online reported that Hogan had also used homophobic slurs on a leaked sex tape. It doesn't fucking surprise me coming from this guy. It says here that days later, it was reported that Hogan had used racist language in a 2008 call to his then imprisoned son Nick, and also said that he hoped he will not be reincarnated as black males. Really? This is the same guy who said, "Say your prayers, take your vitamins," and also preaching all this bullshit back then, when we all know that was just all an act. Even Jesse Ventura says orals are just injectables. Basically, he was referencing this, that he was taking the vitamins. It was in reality, it was just another slang for steroids. And a lot of people afterwards, they all came to the defense of him, but WWE wanted nothing to do with that guy at that time. But then later on July 15th, 2018, this was Hogan's fifth return to WWE from 2018 to present time. It says here that on July 15th, 2018, Hogan was reinstated into the WWE Hall of Fame. Later on that night, he was invited to backstage to WWE's Extreme Rules pay-per-view event. It was briefly mentioned on the event's kickoff show. He made his on-screen return on November 2nd, 2018 as the host of Crown Jewel. Hogan may next appear on January 7th, 2018, episode of Raw to present a tribute to his longtime friend and colleague, the late Mean Gene Okerlund, who had died 5 days prior. That was the first time that Hogan had appeared in a WWE ring in North America since his 2015 firing. He was subsequently appear on WWE Network special where he spoke further of his relationship with Okerlund at that time. And he has made other appearances. He's just basically still with the company at this time. However, though, I would say that Hogan's fifth return to WWE right now might be in jeopardy right now, because I don't think Hulk Hogan has learned his lesson at all. Because even though he quote unquote changed, he hasn't at all. Because he made an appearance at the Republican National Convention. He was making his shtick. He was wearing the do-rag. He was wearing a blazer, and he was making his speech like he was cutting a wrestling promo at the Republican National Convention. Like, people didn't give a fuck at that time who was there, talking about Andre the Giant, etc. And then he took off his blazer and he ripped his. He was wearing a blue shirt. And he ripped it in half. He was basically supporting Donald Trump. And look, before I continue that, I don't care who you support. Everyone is free. He can support whoever the fuck he wants. But in my opinion, he just never learns, mind you. And what I mean by that is because about a week ago, while promoting his new beer that he released, he made an appearance on. He got on stage and made some comments that he knew he was gonna get heat. He knew he was gonna get heat for saying this stupid shit all the fucking time. I swear to you. And what I'm talking about is Hulk Hogan jokes about body slamming Vice President Kamala Harris. And he says here, Hulk Hogan is not turning down the temperature in political violence because he's talking about performing one of his famous wrestling moves on Vice President Harris. And this is what he said. This is courtesy of TMC Sports, by the way.
You're supposed to say what?
Right before I continue, he was supposed to say what. He was just trying to imitate, and he fucking failed miserably imitating Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because if wrestling fans remember, when Stone Cold Steve Austin, like in mid 2001, he started saying what, and then people, like the audience, started saying what. To me, that is probably one of the most annoying chants of all time. But that's synonymous with Stone Cold Steve Austin. But now Hulk Hogan is trying to imitate Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he fucking failed miserably at it. And this is where he's fucking just shit hit the fan. Here goes.
You guys need a cocktail? Need some crazy ladies? Need some muscles? Need some money? You need one beer? You need two beer? You need three beers? You need four beers? Five beers? I got a pina colada. Trader Vic's with a Werewolf of London. His hair was perfect. You want to get crazy? You want me to throw more beers out? You want me to body slam somebody? You want me to body slam Kamala Harris? I said, do you want me to body slam Kamala Harris?
Y'all heard. He says to those people there at that event, he literally said, do you want me to body slam Vice President Harris? Why would you fucking say that, dude? Literally. Why would you fucking say that? Are you kidding me, dude? I guess it's true what Bret the Hitman Hart says. Hulk Hogan likes to stir up shit. Personally, he is. Hulk Hogan is a weird shit stirrer.
Drop the leg on Kamala. Is Kamala a chameleon?
Oh my god, why would you fucking say that, dude?
Indian? Okay, I like it. How?
Really? How? Give me a fucking break, dude. Hogan has not changed at all.
I'm gonna get heat for that one, brother.
Yes, you are gonna get heat. You are getting heat for that right now, bitch.
That was not me. That was the beers talking.
That right there, that was a beer talking. You know, my grandmother said this, and this is something that I firmly believe. Drunk people and little kids always tell the truth. Because if he was sober, he wouldn't be saying that. But he was drunk. He could tell he was fucking drunk. And he told the truth. Because when people are drunk, they literally say the truth. And I know that by experience, because I've said back in my much younger days when I used to have a lot to drink, and there was this one girl that I like, and basically when I was sober, I didn't have the guts to tell this girl that I liked her. And so my friend said, have a couple of drinks and you'll be more relaxed. And it is true, because alcohol, I don't know what it is about alcohol that makes you tell the truth. It's basically truth serum. And then when I had a couple of drinks, I literally went up to the girl and I told her that I liked her. And she was flattered by it. But nothing ever happened. I just moved on. And apparently, this dude told the truth. But he felt he wanted to body slam Kamala Harris. And he was saying all this, is he an Indian, a chameleon? How? He was just being a racist bigot. And now he's making excuses. Oh, that was a beer talking. Making excuses. Stupid idiot that he is. And right there, he's chugging a beer. And right there, he's signing autographs for the Trump vans that he wore. He's just signing autographs right there. And you know, right now, a lot of wrestlers, like current wrestlers from the WWE, and even retired legends of the WWE, have commented of what Hulk Hogan has said, and they don't think it's appropriate, you know. And like I said before, why would you say that, you know? I don't know. And these are the current wrestlers of WWE have come out and say and give their opinion on what Hulk Hogan said. This is courtesy of from the page of Whiffin.
Many WWE stars have reacted to Hulk Hogan asking a crowd if he should body slam Kamala Harris. First up was The Rock, who said, "Is he out of his mind?" Next, John Cena.
I would say yes. Hulk Hogan is definitely out of his mind.
Said, "Not cool, dude." Next, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay, Stone Cold Steve Austin have always had an issue with Hulk Hogan that goes that dates back to during the days of WCW. And I can tell that Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan have never seen eye to eye. And they, quote unquote, they're civil, they're very cordial, but Hogan, just like I said, has not learned his lesson. He just keeps spewing out stupid shit. And Stone Cold is another dude has never seen this dude eye to eye. And look what Stone Cold said right now.
Said, "I think he's truly lost it at this point." Next.
Okay, and he said something else also. Give me 1 second.
Left a comment. In his comment, he said, "He really needs to apologize for this. He's setting an awful example for young wrestling fans to follow." Steve is clearly worried about the younger wrestling fans who probably look up to Hulk. He doesn't seem to want them following in his footsteps and probably feels as though politics should be kept out of wrestling. Despite it being a violent sport, he wants the violence to remain in the ring and not be a tool to threaten politicians with. One fan said, "Steve is right to be calling for Hulk to apologize. He simply can't be threatening violence like this. It's a terrible example to the kids that look up to him."
This fan right here I think he's just being correct right now because, well, like, it's just dumb. And another fan right now, he's just taking the side of Hulk Hogan. It's just like saying, "Oh, look, just listen to what this fan said."
Another fan said, "Stone Cold is completely overreacting. It was just a joke. I don't understand why he's so upset about this."
It's in this day and age, that is not a joke. Racism is not a joke at all. What is it with people like these? Look, before I continue, I just want to say this. I am not endorsing anybody here. I'm not for Democrats or Republicans. I'm just saying what I feel. But I've noticed that when it comes to people who are very right wing and they say, "Oh, it's just a joke," they don't mean that. They know damn well that it's not a joke. It's not in this day and age. It's not okay to joke around like that. But I remember, if I remember a while back, Kathy Griffin, a very well-known comedian, she released a picture of a bloody headless. She was holding in her hand it was a head of a bloody like a fake head of Trump. And yes, she was chastised. She was basically shat upon by right-wing MAGA nuts. But when it's directed at Democrats, it's perfectly okay. But when it's directed at Donald Trump, it's like, that's super offensive. You should apologize to the president. Give me a break.
For this video's comment.
And there's more. Liv Morgan said this.
Liv Morgan said, "No room for hate in this world." And finally, Seth Rollins said, "Embarrassing. Hulk has recently gone viral for an insensitive joke about Kamala during a promotional event for his new beer. He was on stage interacting with the crowd and talking about politics when he said, 'Is Kamala a chameleon? Is she Indian?' Before using a slur to describe Native American Indian people. Fans were very shocked that he said that given that Kamala is biracial, as she has Jamaican and Indian parents. He seemingly realized his error and tried to backtrack on his comments, saying, 'I'm going to get heat for that one. That was not me. That was the beer talking.' He went on to ask the crowd, 'Do you want me to body slam Kamala Harris?' To which there were cheers. Fans were disgusted by the comment and pointed out how hypocritical it was to incite violence against a politician, considering how offended Republicans got when Democrats did it about Trump."
Exactly. That's what exactly happened to Kathy Griffin.
They say that a prominent Republican shouldn't be on stage inciting violence against someone in the opposing party. They say that his rant about Kamala shows how racist and divided America is today. Some fans think it's good to see that no wrestlers are supporting his comments and are wondering when the company will sever ties with Hulk to protect their image. One fan said, "I'm glad that other wrestlers aren't supporting Hulk. It's good to see that they have integrity. Maybe his peers calling him out will make..."
This is one who was against the racist comments that Hogan made. And this is one right here that is typical, saying, "Oh, that's not true."
Him see sense. Another fan said, "I agree with Hulk. There's nobody I want to see body slammed more than Kamala."
Typical.
This video's comment question, should the promotion distance itself from Hulk? Before you go...
Actually, I want to talk about that. But before I continue, I do remember reading that they wanted to do Netflix wanted to produce a biopic of Hulk Hogan, and Chris Hemsworth was going to play the part of him. This was updated August 22nd, 2024. Joker director Todd Phillips has confirmed that the long-awaited Hulk Hogan biopic with Chris Hemsworth is no longer happening. It says that Phillips provided the disappointing update on the Hulk Hogan biopic during an interview with Variety, telling the outlet, and I quote, "I love what we were trying to do, but that's not going to come together for me." Hogan said that let me see. This is what he said, Hogan, and I quote, "It was a situation where business-wise, Netflix kind of missed the date, as far as a business situation. And so I had the choice at that time to switch gears," Hogan explained. "All of a sudden, there was a business glitch," quote, "and they tried to fix it a few days later, and I already decided to move on," unquote. Hogan has always been known to be a pathological liar. Like, this is the guy who claimed that he wanted to play the guitar for the group Metallica. And this is something that I've noticed coming from Hulk Hogan. Excuse me. Every time a wrestler passes away, he always comes out and says that they made up with the guy. And this is something Lenny Poffo had before he passed away. Said that it was true. I kind of have a different opinion about that. Hogan claimed that he made up with Randy Savage before he passed away. And also when the late Ultimate Warrior that he made up, and he says that he made up before he passed away. There's other videos that they show of how Hogan and Ultimate Warrior were backstage meeting. But before that, they said he made up with... He always has a story of making up with wrestlers before they die. Look, I'm not an expert, but me personally, I personally think that Hogan is a sociopath. Sociopaths tend to lie, and Hogan is one of them. And right now, the biopic has been scrapped. It's no longer happening. Because he says it's a, quote, a glitch. When in reality, everyone knows it's because of what the fuck he said about Vice President Harris. That is the absolute truth. They did not, right now, I think Hogan right now is toxic. And for this dude to say this on stage, knowing the fact that we are in an election year, we all know how it is today politically. It is political. To me, for Hogan to say that was suicide. He knew what the fuck he was saying. But yet he just ran his mouth, and you could tell he was not sorry about that. And so, the end of this video says, do you think that the company should sever ties with Hulk Hogan? Personally, in my opinion, yes. Hulk Hogan has not learned his lesson at all. Look what happened when he made his third return to the WWE. The comments that he made back in 2007, they found out, and he went on. And y'all heard the interview he did with ABC Nightline. He was asking for forgiveness. The company did not give a fuck. They brought him back, thinking in 2018, thinking that he might have learned his lesson, that he was, quote, a changed man. When in reality right now, look what he did when he came out to the Republican National Convention and he showed his support with Donald Trump. And before I could say my opinion about Hogan and WWE, this is what Jesse Ventura said about Hogan.
Thick as Donald Trump, it ain't going to happen until I hear an apology from him.
From Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
What's Donald Trump have to do with that?
He's the narcissist like Hogan.
Oh.
You know, birds of a feather flock together.
I see. Yeah.
Well, I heard he was at the Republican convention. I already heard about that. Right. Hogan was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had a right. If somebody wrote here, they'd have done better with Doink the Clown. No, it's in the paper here. They said Doink the Clown would have been better. That's my friend Matt, the late Matt Bourne.
Oh my God, Jesse Ventura. Oh my God, Doink the Clown. Oh God almighty. Fucking Jesse Ventura always cracks me up. But, okay. Back to Hogan and WWE. Should WWE sever ties with Hulk Hogan right now? I'd say absolutely yes. Because right now, Hulk Hogan is super toxic. And right now, since WWE is a company that thrives on other wrestlers of other races, right now, they cannot be associated with Hulk Hogan at all. Because right now, Hulk Hogan right now is a liability. And I'm surprised right now that WWE hasn't really taken an approach at that. Which, in my opinion, that's kind of strange, you know. I mean, they were quick to fire Hulk Hogan in 2015. How come they haven't addressed nothing right now? Ever since he made those comments about Vice President Harris, you know, WWE has been very silent about that. But I know for a fact that they have to take action later on. Will they do something about it, people? Honestly, I don't know. I honestly don't know if WWE will take action against this guy. You know what they say, people? Only time will tell if they take action against Hulk Hogan. But he is a complete shit stirrer, a weird shit stirrer. They need to just basically get the fuck away from this guy. He's toxic. He's extremely radioactive. But, like I said, it's just my opinion. Only time will tell if WWE will cut ties with this guy. So that about wraps up for this week's podcast. Next week, I will be talking about something that's been kind of like bothering me right now, and I've been noticing a lot of things has been going around here in the city of Los Angeles. So I will talk about that for next week's podcast. I just want to say thank you all for listening. Y'all have a great night, and always be safe, people. Good night.